Welcome back to another episode of Thunder Road Running. We've got uh, a return guest actually with us today, Coach Brandon Hazouri from Western Illinois. And one of his athletes is joining us, Ackeen Colley. Ackeen is from Jamaica. He's a 404 miler, 148 low, 800 meter runner, soon to be 146. That's what I hear, Ackeen.
True.
and, and Ackeen has had a really awesome journey coming up in Jamaica. And, you know, the track scene out there is absolutely wild. It's one of the coolest places to run track. If y'all ever watched the Jamaican champs online, you know, they really got things popping out there. So he came up through that, had some challenges of his own, but he's made it to the big time in D1 and then recently finished sixth at the NCAA championships. So really hoping to dive in a little bit into Ackeen's story and his journey to what's got him here today, and then kind of get Brandon, Coach Hazouri's take on what it's been like working, you know, with Ackeen, an athlete with this background. So I think there's a lot to learn, and I think it's pretty inspiring. So hopefully y'all enjoy it. So Ackeen, tell me a little bit about what it was like growing up, the way it was, where you were, and how you found track and everything.
Yeah, it's a lot. But growing up in
Hit me
Jamaica,
with it, man. Hit me.
things was like it was rough. I have six other siblings. It's difficult times going to school and studying. Um, I think my life actually changed when I broke my hand in 2010, and that's when I was touched by those healthcare workers. But I still wasn't running in 2010. I didn't start running until 2016. So it's been my fifth year running now. It was really, really tough. My siblings, they all run. I knew I had the talent to run from a young age because I would take part in like sporting activities for my school, but I didn't like try to run like to join like a club or the track team to train and compete. But it's been a journey for me.
Yeah, tell me about the hand. So you broke your arm. What were you doing?
Climb a tree. I fell. I fell out of the tree, and yeah,
How bad was it broke?
it was really really bad. Person thought I was gonna lose my hand. My hand was broken for like more than a year. I had like three pins, three irons in my hand. So it was really really tough for me going to school with only one arm working. So
Yeah. So you thought you were gonna lose it? You mean, and they were gonna have to amputate or what?
yeah, a person thought I was gonna amputate it. Yeah, that really freaked me out because you don't want to say that to a small kid.
Yeah.
A lot was going through my mind at that time.
Yeah. That's intense. So what were some of the things you had to do, like going to school? What was hard about
Um,
that?
yeah, I have to like be careful like on the transportations and stuff. While going it's pretty busy in my high school. So I got bounced a few times, been hurt, and like the irons were like hooks coming out. So sometimes we accidentally get hook on like someone's clothes, and it will pull the iron and
Oh,
it bleed and stuff. So it was really really tough for me that year going to school with those irons in my hand and
yeah. Dang. Okay. So then you found track. Tell me about that. How did you end up on the track team?
okay. So my my brother he normally runs and I normally watch him run.
Hmm.
And I was like, so Jamaica high school system is different. So it's from seventh grade to 11th grade. That's when high school is finished. But you could go back for 2 extra years, which is called lower six and upper six.
Hmm.
That's grade 12 and grade 13. And that's when I started track and field. I actually changed high school. I did not know what I wanted to do when I started, but I went up to the coach and I told him I want to go be a part of the track and field team. And he looked at me from head to toe and said, okay, come tomorrow with your clothes. Um, but after going to several practice, he saw the talent. Um, from that day until today, we become so close, and he's like a mentor to me, and he keeps me going too. Yeah, it was
That's
really
awesome.
yeah. When I started, he saw the talent. I did not see it, but he gave me a reason to work, and I did work for it. He told me, "Hey, if you keep working hard, you could earn a scholarship overseas to study. I know you want to be a nurse and stuff." So think he gave me a reason to work, and I did work for it, and I'm here today. I'm pursuing my
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah, for sure. So your journey took you to a one school, and then transferring into Oklahoma, and then finally capping on the opportunity to become a nursing student there at Western Illinois. And so now you're in nursing school, right? And tell me about those hours right now. What kind of hours are you working in the hospital?
Yeah, nursing school is tough. When I started, I didn't know it was gonna be this tough, but I'm currently doing like 8 hours. Some weeks 16 hours. So I'll go 8 hours on Wednesdays, and some Mondays I go like 8 hours as well. So it's like 16 hours a week for clinical, and outside of clinical, I have to do like paperwork plus studying for my exams, and it's really really tough. I really don't have any free time. Plus, I have to dedicate hours to track and field as well. So I'm a pretty busy guy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. How do you manage that?
Uh, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I think I stayed in my room for almost all the days, and if I'm not at school, and the bus I have to study, doing homework when everyone is having a good time. So,
Yeah.
but I think I enjoy studying, so it doesn't really affect me to stay in my room and do homework and stuff.
It's easy when you're passionate about something, right?
That's right. I'll say that. I'll say that.
So you found something you're passionate about equally with running and as well. So,
That's right.
um, Coach, what's it been like working with Ackeen? I mean, you and I both know his background story. I mean, he's had to work for it, man, and he's got the talent. I mean, is it all sunshine and rainbows, or what have you learned from him?
Yeah, it's obviously been awesome. Like this past indoor season was a ton of fun. But no, I mean, in Ackeen, you could say if you think different. I wouldn't say sunshine and rainbows. I think, and especially like because of I think his nursing schedule and the demands of that. Like I feel like we go day to day sometimes, and it's just like, hey man, like I know you were in the hospital 8 hours last night. You feel like you recovered, like you need to push things a day. Like most of the time we go Tuesday, Friday, but we'll go, sometimes we go Monday, Saturday, just to give a ton of time in between workouts and things like that. So I think for me as a coach, it's like it's gotten me out of the habit of just like, all right, here are the days we're working out, because it really is. He's got so much going on outside of track that I got to make sure that we're not stacking too much at one time, so but like I think that's the flip side of it is when you've got the background that Ackeen does in terms of just talking about that story, like he's pretty adaptable, he's pretty flexible. I wouldn't consider him a diva right, in terms of like he like demands certain environments, like like he's okay if it's a little rainy and windy, like he's not going to complain about it or anything like that. And he's pretty flexible, which makes it easy. So
yeah, so it sounds like
he was talking about his studying, man. He was, what do we have, 8 hours in the car to Arkansas and 8 hours back, and I don't think he stopped studying but for maybe 30 minutes the whole trip. So it's pretty impressive. I told him he studied more in that trip down there than I probably studied my entire college career. So I was impressed.
You're lucky you don't get car sick, man. Utilize that time. That's good. So on the topic of being flexible, I think that's a really awesome thing to kind of dig at with you guys, because I know a lot of coaches out there love to get married to a plan. They sit down and they write every workout and they plan it out from start to finish, and they know what they're wanting to do on every day. And it's like, okay, you feel like crap, suck it up. How did you guys find the balance, and where are the areas of opportunity? And I guess I'll start with you, Coach, about like shifting, when he shows up to the track and he says, hey, I'm toast, I'm not recovered. I actually had 10 hours in the hospital last night and I didn't sleep, for whatever reason. What is your priority in those situations, like on the track? Like, are there things that you tend to gravitate towards when you're making audibles, or is it just more rest, try again tomorrow? Like, what's your kind of order of operation there?
I think the first thing is like, okay, like, well, what's the rest of your week look like? And if it's like, sometimes Ackeen will tell me like, hey, I want to get it done today, because like, it's not going to be any easier the rest of the week in terms of demands of his schedule. So that's usually the first place we go. I would say the second most workouts, I would say we probably come in with a range of what we're trying to get. And usually it's a range of volume. So I might say, hey, we're going to try and get 6 to 8 by 600 today. Once we get to 4 and 5, like kind of give me an idea of where you're at. And Ackeen will be the first to tell you when I get a range. Usually, when I give a range, he usually picks on the lower end. But I think that also goes back to like, I mean, I trust him as an athlete too. You know what I mean? Like I trust that he wants to be good, and he's like, if he opts out or maybe chooses or kind of gives back to me that he's tired, like I trust him that it's not because he's trying to take the easy way out. You know what I mean? Yeah. I trust that he does want to, to be doing this and wants to work hard. So I think that's probably the biggest thing is usually we come in with a range. Sometimes like we'll say like, all right, like, hey, here's the goal today. Like we wanted to get some kind of VO2 max day. Maybe we accomplish that in 300s off of a 100 jog, or maybe we, try and stretch it out into 800s, and just kind of depending on like how good are you feeling today? Do you feel like you can handle 800s, or do we need to break it up into smaller or shorter reps, I guess I should say.
So it sounds like you kind of default to scheduling for the rest of the week. And then from there, depending on your time, you adjust the work. Yeah. And the work kind of comes second. And then there you adjust those times depending. Yeah. So you kind of start from the week and work in. Cool.
And obviously anytime, and sorry not to interrupt, but I think, and Ackeen, you could probably speak more on this, like, and this, Kevin, with like, shins acting up and things like that. I think that's always the thing where we pretty much push it a day. If it's ever like something that feels more
pain, not strain.
Yeah, more pain. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's the one thing that we all pretty much automatically, all right, let's push a day or figure another way to do this.
Beautiful. Yeah, consistency is so important. And it's funny that you mentioned the volume thing. When I give him a volume, he's not afraid to take the lower end. Mm-hmm. And you hear a backstory and you spend some time around Ackeen and that he's a worker. As a coach, over time, you kind of start to trust the athlete when they're putting in the work, mm-hmm. like, and Ackeen, truly, it's, you wouldn't think it as a gift, but y'all, when you get to a high level, working hard is no longer something special. Like everybody can work hard. Any idiot can work hard, like can go run their body into the dirt until it breaks. It actually becomes a game of what is the right stimulus on the day and how can I put my ego aside to read my body and make the right decision. And Ackeen, has always managed that very well. How did you learn that, Ackeen? Was there ever a moment in time or maybe an injury that you had or when did you learn to read your body? I mean, was your high school coach that way or?
Yeah, I think my high school coach was that way. We always like, always have plan B on the day based on how I feel. And yeah, so I think it's basically because of my high school coach. That's what I was used to, like in 2016 when I started. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, you got lucky.
I think
you got lucky. Somebody who had some flexibility and wanted to read your body and gave you that individual attention, to allow you to make some decisions there. So you high schoolers out there listening, I'm not saying don't work hard. There are some days when the coach, there is no plan B. It's suck it up, get it done.
And that's right. That's right. I do think I work hard though. Is like and some days I just have to get the effort in. Some days it's just tough on the body, and I think there's a good thing about like me and Coach Hazouri is like some days we just say, okay, let's go for effort today, and it pays off at the end of the day,
Yeah. So, Coach, I'm interested to hear, after working with Ackeen for a couple seasons or some time now, where are the areas of opportunity in Ackeen's development that you see as an 800 meter runner? Is there anything that sticks out to you? Because I'd love to get your take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and not to be the coach that says we haven't done speed work yet, but like with me being in the Midwest, like we just like we haven't really done any 800 meter work. You know what I mean? So I guess it's hard for me to say without seeing what happens after we get some like really true like longer speed endurance sessions in.
When he says Midwest, y'all, he means weather. It means you can't just get on the track and sprint
Yeah.
any time. There's snow.
Yeah, no indoor track. It's like we're shoveling it, and even then it's like 10 degrees outside, sometimes colder. So how much work can you get done? Yeah,
Well, how have you gotten around that? That's another good question. Whenever you finish, sorry, I want to hear how you got creative.
I was making this joke with the coach the other day, and it's simplifying it a little bit, but like, I mean, part of it is just like, hey, we get on the treadmill and crank up the incline and just like, hey man, how hard is this? Does this feel like you could, like, you know, run this for more than 45 seconds? If not, like bump it up a little bit more, you know? So, I mean, we did a lot of like strength work, and I think the treadmills in our rec center got down to 4:48 pace. And so that's kind of what we did a lot of our work around, was just like getting it up to max speed. And sometimes we would go, you know, 4 to 5, or I guess we probably never did 5. I think 4 by 1200, you know, and just kind of cut the rest each time we did it. And we got it all the way up to going 3 by mile at that pace off of, with the last time you did it, Ackeen, what, 2.5 minutes, which was, yeah, which Ackeen, some of the longer stuff is not always his favorite, but did a really good job of that. So I think just because of the weather, we had to embrace a lot of that strength work, and it's just like, it was the best we could get out of a day. So I think that's kind of
area of opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we probably improved the most this year. So I mean, I would say like moving forward, it's just like the area of opportunity would be like, how do we keep that in place to where you don't lose that strength, but we start to put in some of that like true 800 meter work, you know. And as the weather turns here, we're gonna have a lot more opportunities to do that. So I'm excited to see what him and our other 800 guys could do. Yeah, right now, I mean, that I would say that's kind of an easy one, though. You know, it's just more 800 meter work.
Ackeen, what do you think, man? Where are the areas of opportunity as an athlete?
I do argue with Coach Hazouri. Definitely some speed work. When we start some 800 meter work, I should see a different, you know, coming through 50.51, feeling comfortable. We have done a lot of strength work. I should say I didn't know I was this strong, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning as an athlete, and that's what I told him the other day. Is like every race for me is like, and every workout is I'm learning something new from my body, and I think once I learn something, I do apply it towards the future, towards what I do. Yeah, like 2 years ago, I didn't know I was this strong to do like 3-mile tempos and stuff. So
yeah,
it's been a great improvement for me, and I think once we start doing some real like 800 workout, I should see some better results. Not saying that what I'm seeing so far is good, but I really have hopes of like crushing sometimes this outdoor season. So let's see.
of course, man. Well, I mean, you know, you finished 6th in the NCAA. Y'all are doing something right. That's for sure. But there's always that question, and I was joking about it with Coach Hazouri after your race this last weekend. I was like, all right, 6th place, Coach. How do you finish higher? And I think you always ask that question until you win. And then even then, I think you still ask that question. So
I got the easy one too that I actually just thought about, and his nursing gets annoyed this a little bit. But if we can sleep 8 hours a night, we'll be. I told him that's a free second right there. If you can sleep 8 hours a night until June.
8 hours a night, no more Oreos.
No more Oreos.
Hey, I will
right.
say, the morning of the prelim, All-Star Special from Waffle House. That's
Nuh-uh.
I swear. I swear, me and Ackeen sat in a Waffle House and shared, or not shared, but had our own All-Star Special.
Maybe that's the secret.
Yeah.
Well fueled.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Ackeen, so about the speed work, and speed work's a hot topic right now, especially in the 800 meters, because there's so many ways to go about training as an 800 meter guy. You got, you know, kind of the old school guy, you know, the Lydiard base saying you need to be running 80 miles a week. And then you go into hills and you go into speed, and, you know, and then you got the kind of the new age guys who are, you know, trying to run 43 point and then bump up to the 8, you know, kind of start from speed and work back. I'm curious, because Ackeen, you got some natural speed. You're trying to run 146, And I've known that about you for a long time, and you definitely have the ability to do it. What do you think you need to be able to split in the 400 in order to feel comfortable about coming through in 50 point?
I think anywhere around 46.4, 46.5 should be I should be in good range to come through like in 50 point, 51, feel comfortable and able to close in the next 54. So 46.5, I think.
Okay. So that's the day you'll be feeling like, I think I can handle 50 point real smooth and easy and finish well off that.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Coach, what do you think is necessary? Are you in a agreement there or?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we got to a point in the middle of outdoor where he was splitting 47 low, I would probably say it. I think we're pretty close to good enough for 146 right now. I would say 47 low would probably be my answer on that.
Yeah. What where are you at now, Ackeen?
I know I'm somewhere in 47. I just haven't like gotten in that race. I know like 2 months ago in December we did a test and I came to the 400 in around 48 something. So I know for sure now I'll go somewhere between 47. I think I did 47 at conference. I'm not sure.
We split like 47.9 on our conference relay. So
Nice. So important, man, that speed and speed development portion of that race. And I love the fact that the elements made you get creative, because there's a lot of 800 meter runners out there, especially in high school, that they want that from day one. From day one, they want 242 every week. And they think, coach, I need more speed. I need more speed. And it's like, man, there's a difference between speed and speed work.
Yeah.
Speed development is different from speed work. Speed development, is strength. It's in the weight room. It's your flying 30s. It's your technical stuff, your wickets, your med balls, all that is speed and speed development, increasing your max velocity. Then you got the other side, the 242, which you can't do in 7-degree weather. And so, yes, they're both very important, but it's awesome that y'all were able to maximize the speed development portion combined with the strength to bridge the gap to finish 6th in the country. I just think that's so freaking cool. And the learnings there, for your body, Ackeen, and then for coach, are pretty awesome. So I'm glad
it was fun. And we did, and I guess you touched on that a little bit. We were able to do like a lot of like actual like max velocity type stuff, like speed development. We've got an area on our campus that we can do that on. So we could do flying 30s and all the way up to about 60 to 70 meters. So I think we did some flying 60s and things like that. Just nowhere we could do more than like 8 seconds without going around a pretty tight curve. But yeah, it was definitely a challenge, because I mean, same thing you were saying earlier, just like I had this nice little progression of, how are we going to get from, just like some 20-second hill sprints in the fall all the way up to, going 3x400 in the spring. And it's like you get to the middle and it's interrupted a little bit. So we got to find ways to just maintain it enough till we can kind of pick back up when it warms up.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that another challenge with the maintenance portion in the middle there is Christmas break.
Yeah.
You get an athlete ready and their body's ready and fueled, and maybe they get it done or maybe they don't, but when they show up, you assume they did. And
Ackeen had a good Christmas. He was in Macomb for most of the time, so we got to spend a decent amount of time together, which I think is a big reason of why his indoor season went so well.
Nice. Yeah, man. Not sitting on that Jamaica beach, just hanging out, swimming, huh? You actually put work in, man. I'm just joking with you, Ackeen. Well, good stuff. Well, Ackeen, if you could look back and tell your very young self, when the first day you went out for the track team, knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself about the journey ahead?
What would I tell myself? It doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple words.
That was a learning experience for me. Each week, each month, been learning. It's tough.
Yeah. Growth is hard. It hurts.
That's true.
Physical and mental.
I tell the guys on our team, I tell them it's like it never gets easier. It just hurts going faster. That's hurts the same. You're just going faster.
Yeah. Running 146 will hurt just as bad as a 149 the day you do it.
Yep.
It's the same old pain, just moving a little quicker.
Mhm.
I love it. Awesome, guys. Well, any other advice out there that you want to throw out, Ackeen, on your finish? Any other things that you learned about yourself?
Yeah, never give up. That was a way.
Okay.
Because that was a
Yeah.
way. Mhm.
Good. I love it. That's perfect. Never give up. Keep chasing it if you want it, and
Right.
be brave enough to send it. And
Right.
I think that also speaks volumes about you and a lot of other international athletes that come to the U.S. is I think definitely the U.S. kids forget how easy it is just to drive down the street. 2.5 hours to school. Imagine packing everything you own up and hopping on a plane and knowing nobody when you land,
True.
and then learning a whole new culture, a whole new place, and then run fast and make good grades while you're at it. So yeah, it doesn't get easier, and have the courage to send it, and don't give up.